All right, so the month of July is over, and wow, it has been an interesting month when it comes to cruising and the cruising news. Now, in July, though, we did have some really positive cruise news. We have seen almost all of the cruise lines back out there and resuming sailing. We have Carnival cruise lines out there. We have Royal Caribbean. We have Holland America. We have Princess Cruise Lines, and we have Celebrity Cruise Lines. All have restarted cruises here in July. Now, Disney Cruise Line has conducted test sailings and will begin here in August. And Norwegian Cruise Lines is supposed to start up here in August as well. So we have had some really good cruise news with just the fact that cruising has restarted. But not everything that has happened this month has been the best. And we're going to talk about all of it right after this. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. It is August the 1st, 2021, and this is the Sunday Cruise Show, where we go over everything that has happened here in the last week in cruising, and we kind of talk about it a little more in depth. So our current cruise countdown is still going on. We are 43 days away from getting back on a cruise ship. We're going to be on the Carnival Breeze come here in September. So 43 more days. I just cannot wait. I am counting down each and every minute as we get closer and closer. This last week we did see the Carnival Mardi Gras and Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Seas, both brand new cruise ships starting their inaugural sailings this last week. Super excited for the folks that got to go out on those first cruise ships, but that does bring up something that I want to talk about. Cruising is something that we truly love to do. I love to do it. My wife loves to do it. And if you are watching cruise news and cruise channel shows and cruising content from YouTube creators, then you probably love cruising too. You either have been on a cruise recently, or you have a book, or you have a cruise booked just like we do. So for most of y'all, this probably won't apply. But for some of y'all, this really will apply. And what I'm talking about is some of these entitled, stuck up, just kind of royal pains in the ass that are getting on some of these inaugural cruises and on these cruise ships. Now, what I'm specifically talking about is I do follow John Heald. He is the cruise ambassador for Carnival Cruise Lines, and he is currently on the inaugural sailing of the Carnival Mardi Gras. Now, if you follow along with his Facebook page, he puts posts on there all the time. And one of the things he puts on there is comments that he gets from people on board the cruise ships. And you see this kind of stuff all the time. And I don't really know why this one bugged me as much as it did, but it just really kind of chapped my butt in the wrong way. So they were in the main dining room last night, the very first dinner service ever done on board this cruise ship. So we're talking a brand new cruise ship, never served dinner before. We're talking a crew that hasn't worked in 17 months. And they are going to serve 4,000 people dinner. You know there's going to be a hiccup. There's going to be some delays as this happens. They've got to get everything back into the swing of things. But apparently one of the passengers on the ship stopped him after dinner, kind of berated him, used some abrasive and abusive language towards him, towards John Heald, saying he could not believe that the dinner service took an hour and a half. How dare they? And he would never return to the dining room again. And you know what? That just kind of pisses me off. If I'd had the opportunity, I would be on the inaugural sailing of the Carnival Mardi Gras. It didn't work out for me, but I would be there. I will gladly trade places with any passenger on that ship that is upset that a dinner service on the very first night on a brand new cruise ship that has never served dinner before took an hour and a half. If you want to trade places because you're upset at how long dinner took, let me know, or let one of the viewers watching this video know, because I bet anybody will trade places with you. We are talking an hour and a half of your time on board a cruise ship, something you haven't been able to do in almost 2 years, and that is your complaint, is that it took them a little bit longer to serve you some dinner? Please, I am sick and tired of listening to entitled people talk about dumb stuff like that. If you don't like how long the dinner service is, get off the ship and don't get back on. Make room for the rest of us, because we will get on. And I'm guarantee I can get people to put in the comments that they would be very happy to sit there and enjoy a cruise dinner, even if it took that long. So my message to John Heald is, you know what? Ignore people like that. Tell them if they don't like it, hit the bricks. But that's just my opinion, because I guarantee you there are plenty of us that will shake your hand, say hello, and let you know how much we enjoyed dinner. And there's my little rant for the week. Like I said, I don't know why that one bothered me as much as it did, but it just did. All right, and the cruise news from this week, I guess the stuff that we would call bad, but stuff we definitely need to keep an eye on. And that is the increased number of COVID cases we are seeing on board cruise ships. We saw Adventure of the Seas this week have 6 confirmed COVID cases on board, and the Celebrity Edge has had 7. Now, nothing came of these. They were bound. These individuals were isolated. Contact tracing was done. Additional COVID testing was done, and nothing spread further around the ship. It is possible they came on board with this and it just wasn't caught at the beginning. Who knows how it got there, how they got it, but we just know that we've had 6 on one ship, 7 on another. Now that has prompted Royal Caribbean to decide that on any U.S. cruise that is 5 nights or longer, you will have to take a COVID-19 test prior to arriving at the cruise port within 72 hours. And of course, that will be at your own expense. Now, I did hear from one of our viewers, they did put in the comments to definitely check with your health insurance, because they found that their COVID-19 test was covered by their health insurance. They were able to get it through them, get it done, and didn't cost them anything. So hopefully that works for everybody and that is available for everybody that can do that. Save you a couple dollars anyway if you have an upcoming cruise. Now, this has only been announced for Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruise Lines so far, just for the month of August. But if you've watched any regular news, I'm sure you noticed that these COVID cases are going back up again and that this new Delta variant is spreading around. So I think there is a possibility in the next coming weeks that we may see some increased health and safety protocols on these cruise lines, other than just testing from Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. I do suspect that the other cruise lines are going to start requiring either proof of a negative test prior to embarkation, or they may start doing testing directly there at the cruise port prior to getting on the ship, or a combination of the two. I would say that it's probably one of the first things that is going to happen. And the second one that I suspect could happen, and this is just my theory. No cruise line has said this yet. Let's make sure we are clear on that. This is just my theories. You know, in Florida, you have to have travel insurance that specifically covers COVID-19 if you are an unvaccinated passenger. As these cases continue to rise and as we see more and more of these possibly showing up on these cruise ships, I do suspect that travel insurance may also become a requirement for everybody getting on the cruise ships, whether you are vaccinated or unvaccinated. And that simply will be as if these cases, 5, 6, 7 cases on board a cruise ship, if the cruise ship is picking up the tab of getting you home, they're not going to keep doing that forever. Eventually, they are going to try to pass that cost back on to us as cruisers. They are a business. They are in the job of making money, and they're not going to keep spending money getting people home over COVID if they can require travel insurance that's designed to cover those very specific things. So I do think that a travel insurance requirement might come up. Now, if you're like me, I get travel insurance every single time we travel anyway, so that's not a big deal. But if you are in the habit of not getting the travel insurance of any way, of any kind, that may be something that could be coming down the pipe later on. But again, that's just my theory. No cruise line has said that. And the final one I think we might see here in the next coming weeks could be masks indoors on board cruise ships again, even if you are fully vaccinated. Because Of these people that have tested positive recently on the cruise ships, of the 6 that tested on Adventure of the Seas, 4 of them were fully vaccinated. And on the Celebrity Edge, I believe most of them, if not all of them, were fully vaccinated. So at least at this particular time, having the shot or not having the shot is not necessarily stopping you from testing positive. So mask mandates could be something that could come back, especially if it is pushed by the CDC, which, like I said, they're not doing it yet. But if you have a cruise in the next couple of months, it's probably going to be a good idea to put it in your head that there's going to be some additional types of health and safety protocols coming down the pipe. So you might want to decide, well, how much are you willing to accept and still get on the cruise ship? Now, me personally, like I said, if I got to get a test before I get on the ship, no big deal. I would rather know here at home before I travel all the way to the cruise port, get all the way on embarkation day. I'm standing in line waiting for my turn to get on the cruise ship. I'm super excited only to find out now I have tested positive and can't get on board. I think that would be just a vacation crushing experience. I'd much rather know before I even left the house. Is that I already purchased travel insurance, just because you never know what could happen. It could be anything at any time. I could fall down the stairs, break my leg, something like that. So I always have my travel insurance. And while I absolutely do not want to have to wear a mask on a fully vaccinated cruise, if it's a choice between wearing a mask indoors and not cruising, well, I guess I'm going to be wearing a mask indoors, because it is going to take something pretty serious to get me to cancel my September cruise. I have waited too long. I've gotten too excited, and watching other content creators get on ships, watching other passengers get on ships, and watching these new ships start to sail all month long, the cruising itch and urge is extreme right now, and it's going to take a whole hell of a lot to keep me off of that ship. But what do y'all think? What would it take right now to get you to cancel your cruise? Would a pre-testing requirement do it? Would a requirement of travel insurance do it? Or will it be the fact that you might have to wear a mask on cruise ships again here in the future? Would that do it? Let me know in the comments below if there is anything that would stop you from getting on a cruise ship here in the next couple of months. Especially if, like me, you have been waiting 16, 17 months to get back on the cruise ship. The last cruise ship I was on was the Disney Dream in January of 2020. So yeah, I am due to get back on a cruise ship as soon as possible. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Sunday cruise news video. So we've kind of covered everything we've gone over here in the last week, kind of let you know where everything has landed for the week. I said, though, being the beginning of August here, let's hope that this is going to be a much better month. Let's hope that I'm actually wrong on every single prediction I have made, that the COVID variant will go away, cruising will keep cruising along as normal, more ships will start, more of us will get out there sailing, there'll be no masks, no additional requirements. I would love to be proven wrong. So, COVID, go away, prove me wrong. I would love to have everybody come and tell me in a week or two, hey, Chris, you were just absolutely wrong. So please, let it happen. I'll take it. And I would be happy to come back, eat some crow, and say, yeah, you know what? I was wrong, and thank God I was. All right, have yourselves a great day. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you out on the high seas.